guys, I am Sandy from So Easy by Sandy, and today we will go a step further in our quick and easy projects. Now, one of my first videos for this channel was about making a strip quilt block, and you guys loved it, so I figured I'd just keep going. But it's not going to be a quilt, although you can and should totally make a quilt using these blocks. Today though, we are going to make a blanket. Now, the main advantages of doing a blanket instead of a quilt is it's cheaper because all you need is the patchwork top and the synthetic lambswool blanket for the back. And it's also much quicker to make, particularly if you make the self-binding version like I will be doing. You know, no quilt sandwich, no binding to sew on. Easy peasy, but still soft and cuddly. And it's great for a crib or as a cozy lap blanket you can use to keep yourself warm in the cold weather. Now, as usual, you can make this blanket as big as you want it. You know, all you need to do is multiply the blocks by the size you want. For this blanket, we are using 12 10 by 10 inches or 25 by 25 centimeter blocks with a wide fabric frame around it. And no, I have no idea how I will be able to show you this blanket in a small desk I work at, but that's kind of the challenge, right? To show you, you don't need a lot of space to sew or to be creative. And I guess that's it. Let's get started. So the first step is making the strip blocks, which I have already made. Now the second step is organizing the blocks. Now I personally like this to be as random as possible, but I do have one rule, which is that the same fabrics don't touch. Other than that, there are no rules. And as you can see, I have used different size strips, including the white middle one. You know, I like this kind of chaos, to be honest. I'm not about perfection or symmetry. As long as the white fabrics touch, I'm good. Next is sewing the rows, and I usually sew the largest rows first, but today I'm doing them by order. We have 4 rows of 3 blocks. Let's do it. Okay, and now we sew the rows together like so. So now all we need to do to complete our blanket top is to add the white fabric frame to make it the size we want, which is pretty great because it means we don't actually have to make a lot of calculations to make sure our blocks match the size of the blanket or the quilt we need. We pick a block size, we multiply it by as many blocks we want, and then add the frame around it to make it the perfect size. And that's it, our top is done. Time to get out our synthetic lambswool. And this is a great material, you know, washable, easy to dry, and no need to iron it. In fact, do not iron it because it will melt, okay? Okay, place the patchwork top on top of the synthetic lambswool, right sides together, and pin it before cutting the extra material. Okay, now we are going to sew all around the top, leaving a large enough gap to be able to turn the inside out. Oops, my gap is a little bit too small, may need to rip it open. Turn it inside out and we're almost done here. You know, all there's left to do is to close the gap, and I chose to do it by hand, but you can easily use the sewing machine too. Okay, now we add a seam around the patchwork center. The thing with patchwork is the more you quilt it or bind it, the sturdier it will be and the longer it will last. So you can sew it however you prefer, but I'm keeping it simple today. Quick and easy, right? So just this little frame around the center. And next, we create the self-binding we talked about. And we're done! Your very own baby blanket. Or maybe a lap blanket, you know, whatever you think best. Let me just say, I love doing this project with you, and I hope you had fun as well. And I will see you soon. Bye bye!